Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really personal story about motivation, about adversity, and, the totally surprising reasons we sometimes take on these huge challenges we never, ever thought we would. And let's just start right here with this raw, honest thought that's really at the heart of this whole thing. I mean, it's like a perfect storm, right? Terrible news hits, and he's already stuck with a commitment he regrets. But honestly, it's that exact conflict that makes this story so fascinating. So, our narrator here is facing a pretty massive goal. And to make it even harder, he just got laid off, and he has this long-held, totally genuine hatred for the very thing he signed up to do. And this slide just lays out the core problem perfectly. His whole life, his physical identity has been about short, powerful bursts. A sprinter's mindset. That is completely, totally at odds with the kind of marathon man endurance you need for a 10K. It's just a fundamental mismatch. And get this. Think about how much time has passed. We're not talking about taking a few years off from the gym. We are talking about 2 decades. That adds this huge layer of uncertainty. Just that nagging voice asking if his body is even capable of doing this anymore. So you gotta ask, right? What on earth would make someone who absolutely hates running sign up for a 10K? Well, turns out the answer doesn't start with a fancy training plan or new running shoes. Nope. It starts with a rekindled friendship. So he and this friend, they were super close way back in middle school. But you know how it is. Life happens, stupid little arguments get in the way, and they drifted apart. But they recently reconnected, and that changed everything. And the crazy part is, it wasn't some grand, life-changing decision made after weeks of deep thought. No, it was just an idea that popped up in a simple, totally random conversation. It just goes to show you sometimes the smallest moments can plant the seeds for the biggest challenges. And right here, you can almost hear the gears turning in his head. He's looking back at that fun run from 20 years ago and thinking, hey, if a younger, totally untrained me could do that for fun, then surely the me of today can do this with some actual training. It's a pretty powerful piece of self-talk. Okay, so an idea is one thing, but let's be real. Making a firm commitment, that's a whole different ballgame. Something or someone had to give him that final little shove over the edge. I mean, what is that final trigger, For our guy, the answer came from a really unexpected and, very personal source. He asked his partner what she thought about him running a 10K, and this was her immediate laughing response. A little harsh, maybe, but that half-joking comment ended up being the absolute catalyst. And boom, just like that, the decision was made. That was the exact moment when all the doubt and the questions just kind of vanished, and all that was left was this simple, clear determination. And it seems like he totally understood the vibe here. It wasn't just a dig, it was a provocation. It's almost like he knew, deep down, she believed he could do it, and she was just challenging him to prove it. And you know what? It was exactly what he needed to hear. So, with his motivation totally locked in thanks to that one little comment, the journey moves from the mental to the physical. It's time to actually, start running. So he takes these clear, practical steps. He gets an app, he starts a structured program, and the results were almost immediate and pretty surprising. In just a few weeks, he'd already conquered a 5K, a distance he hadn't touched in 20 years. That must have been an incredible confidence boost. And this is where we come full circle, right back to the beginning. That crushing news about the layoff, it could have derailed everything. But instead, he takes that negative event and turns it into more fuel for his commitment. The race becomes the one thing in his life that he can control. And in the end, this one single statement becomes his mantra. It's not really just about running a race anymore. It's about refusing to let any setback, a layoff, self-doubt, whatever, define his potential or stop him from achieving something great. So this whole story kind of leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? Sometimes the biggest challenges we face and the motivation we need to tackle them, they don't come from some grand plan. They come from a random chat with an old friend or a half-joking dare from someone you love. So it makes you wonder, what unexpected journey is waiting out there for you?